Hey, 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 Laura J here today to say I am the creator of Leveling the Playing Field, Ode to Laura Lees, which is a labor of love that took a year and a half to compile. Because first, I had to go through the 5 year journey to write Fully Committed, the Sacred Sojourn of Now about the hero's journey and presenting it from a soulful perspective before then actually unpacking what it took me to go through in the process of writing it, which included getting locked up under the Mental Health Act that I do believe to be the modern day witch hunt legalized and normalized now. I do believe witchcraft, are you specialized in, was what was asked to those who had become inconvenient to the officials in charge at the time. They were charged for crimes that were not true, as I do believe many of us have been, since I also got a summons for speaking at a rally in 2021 that was an alleged COVID violation that I call to be the Certificate of Vex Identity Death AI experience or experiment, where we were called to forget our conscience in the name of science with a dollar sign through the S, to show that it is only one line, not two, backed by nothing but those who knew and those who didn't, and those who were in the club and those who weren't. And this division of us, which is where our trust has been vested into sources outside of us through identities that invite entities in with them, which I believe to be dangerous. And if you are interested in taking this course that took so much of my life force to bring forward, I not only appreciate it, but I welcome you to challenge me on the concepts I present in the course, which is source in a different order. I want to dispel the word spells that we have been captivated by that have created counterfeit versions of all things within the Res Publica that is a public affair because it invites third parties and entities into the offices we didn't know were being filled unless we did because we were in the club. And then we were bound to secrecy because if you gained it by joining, you can't then share it without violating omerta, which is the need to deal with violators of the club rules privately, lest we enter another house in order to get authorities of a different ruler involved in that which needs to be settled privately within the house that we were agreed to be part of, which is manorialism of Roman days after the Republic transitioned into an empire, and those who had estates needed to have help and support, and feudal alliances were made, which we dig into further, and also say manorialism became feudalism, which then became corporatism. And the alleged fall of Rome was only the divorce between church and state. A changing contract requires the parties to change their identities, for they no longer are in the same house relative to one another. Now they have divided and apparently have separate houses, except for the corporate shell of a larger wellspring that has been consuming us all is still in power, which is what I say to be the holy see we didn't see, the unseen hands working behind the scenes to be. So the Wizard of Oz, well, what if that was a fable about how we needed the brains, courage, and heart in order to travel the yellow brick road to the Wizard of Oz to find the man behind the screen was nothing but a little man pulling strings because he thought he was safe, presenting himself to be larger than life and intimidating those that he was not nice to because he could take what was theirs within a usury, usufructory system. If any of these terms are new to you, they won't be after you go through the material that I have put together for you as succinctly as I could in 2024 when I put it together. I look forward to engaging on this further, and I welcome you to challenge the ideations and ideas that I have proposed and coined, because as the figurehead telling the tale, that's the coin that we didn't realize. The coins of the Caesar who seizes all things was actually bringing us into the domain of, that claimed dominion over the land, air, and water, that has no space for another owner of a house to step up and then disgrace the one who said he was larger than life. So there is so much to the tale and the one that I told in this course that I look forward to having you part of the experience that helps us come together as the ones who needed to be connected. For we are the dots of light in our hearts that don't need to fight if we see that information is what we must become. We must get into formation on common ground, and to see that information is the fallacy that keeps us trapped in the not now headspace that makes us feel like a head case and can then get roped into another man or woman's domain, not specifically theirs, but the man. Well, who's he? You know what I'm saying? We the people, another fallacy that so many have been getting tripped up on. And I hope that after going through this course, you won't be one of the ones who are standing on a trap door you think is solid until the rope gets pulled and your neck gets lopped off because of capitis diminutio, minima, maxima, or media. Those are just the loss of status. But we didn't know until we did. So when you take this, hopefully you'll be ahead. Peace. Lord J. Namaste.